treatments. I made up stories to keep my sisters quiet while Mom slept. She slept a lot. Sleep was her refuge, her only sanctuary from the depression battles she lost, no matter how many electrocurrents assaulted her body. In those days, we didn't have books in our house, but we had the Sears catalog, filled with pictures of smiling children dressed for every occasion. My sisters and I would snuggle shoulder to shoulder on our big, old, weathered couch and shuffle those catalog pages back and forth until we found the right shoes with matching purses to wear on our couch adventures. We could travel to faraway lands with my imagination the navigator, and my sisters a loyal crew who hungered for magic as much as I did. The first day I sat down to write Deb, I struggled with finding words other than, "I believe in your miracle." What could I say that was encouraging when Deb's doctors weren't? For 10 days, I emailed Pollyanna snippets that sounded hollow, my words echoing my lack of faith in her miracle. The day Deb received the news she had a brain tumor that had to be removed before her lung treatments could start, I felt dizzy thinking about how she'd stay hopeful with 2 cancers to fight. I knew Deb was strong. She was tall and athletic, played on a women's hockey team. She was also a woman of faith and could fight this battle mentally and physically, but cancer in her brain and lungs had to be terrifying. That's when my letters changed. I didn't know how it felt to have cancer, but I knew about fear. I thought of all the times I was afraid of things out of my control, things I might have shared with Deb if we had been closer friends or if we'd had more time. So I began to tell her. I wrote about my divorce and how I didn't see it coming. I wrote about getting caught shoplifting and about the best dancer I knew who was a man with no legs. When Deb responded, "No matter how sick I feel, your letters give me something to look forward to," I kept writing. She was too sick to eat, but not too sick to read. Deb's illness gave me the chance to press my face against the window of my life, and what I saw was startling. I saw miracles that had been waiting for me to give them a voice. Deb began sharing her letters with friends and family, and the letters took flight. In 3 months, hundreds of people from 7 countries were reading the Dear Deb letters every day. Strangers wrote who were struggling with their lives, yet refused to let go of hope. Some talked about their own miracles, others yearned for one. As I wrote, I was aware that Deb and I were building a bridge we would never cross. Bridges to intimacy take years. I knew I was gaining something and losing it at the same time. I was riding the crest of a wave that would crash when it reached the shore, but I kept riding it, writing and hoping that as long as I kept writing, Deb would keep living. In 6 months, I wrote 102 letters to her. I only saw her 3 times during those 6 months, but a lifetime passed between us that created a bond that defied time. She refused to consider how much time she had. Instead, she concentrated on living, and she was busy making plans right up until the moment she took her last breath. Deb was 55 years old when she died. What follows are 55 Dear Deb letters, one for each year she graced this world with her beautiful presence. Real Family. Dear Deb, "Is your dad a real dad, Mom?" Patrick stood beside me in front of the sink, in the thimble-sized bathroom. He leaned over the counter and pressed his nose against the mirror. "Yes, he's a real dad." I smiled at him in the mirror, batting my eyelashes to check if my mascara had set. I had applied waterproof just in case tears ambushed me when I saw him. "He's my dad, honey." My sons knew my sisters and my mom, who had visited us in Minnesota over the years, but they had never met my father. That fall, Dad had decided it was time to meet his grandsons. Michael and Patrick were 11 and 8 and didn't know much about him other than his name was Donald, his high school friends called him Ducky, and he lived in Ohio. There had been promises to visit over the years, but we never made it happen. The letters and cards I sent with school pictures and